Do you have some weird things you travel with? I have 15 to share with you. These are some of my weirdest travel essentials. Let's look at some of my favourite travel gear and some travel tips. And I'm going to ask you to tell me why I'm taking our passports on our next trip. Stick around to find out why. Welcome to Linky Lifestyle. I'm Mardi and I've been travelling for over 25 years with my husband Michael, so we love to share our expertise with you to help you plan holidays that aren't just fun but truly unforgettable. When you watch packing videos, most people have reasonably similar packing lists, but often they'll have just a few things that are a bit unusual, which made me think about what I pack, things that aren't always packed by others. I have a list of 15 items I bring with me, maybe not on every trip, but often enough to be regulars on my packing lists. And I have a question for you, or maybe it's a riddle. On our next holiday, we're flying from Canberra to Sydney and back again, with no flights in between. That's Canberra, Australia and Sydney, Australia, which are about 300 kilometres apart and in the same country, obviously. So why am I packing our passports? If you think you know, answer in the comments below, or wait until the end and I'll tell you. Day to day, I mostly drive wherever I'm going, so I just carry my phone with me and put it in the charging tray in the car. But when I go away, I use public transport and I use my phone to tap on and off in most places. I also use my phone to pay for things and for using maps to get around. So I'll be walking around with my phone in my hand, which carries a risk that I could put it down and lose it, or a thief could snatch it from me. So this is where item 1 comes in, a crossbody strap for my phone. I have a few of them, but I mainly use this pinkish one. It's actually pretty colourful when you see it closely. It clips onto loops on the phone case, or for cases without loops, which is like the one I'm using at the moment, I have this little thing that I insert into the case, and it has a tab that comes out the charging port hole with a D-ring on it. I forget where I bought the crossbody strap, but I'll put some links to ones you can buy on Amazon below. And the insert from the case was from Amazon, and it came in a set of 2 with wrist straps, so I'll link that below too. Years ago when I was in Japan, I bought this Tenegui. In Japan, it's common for public toilets to have no means for drying your hands. Also, there are no garbage bins on the street, so you have to carry your rubbish around with you until you find a bin at a konbini or a vending machine. So people in Japan carry Teneguis for wiping their hands or wrapping up their rubbish. I also find them useful for wrapping up leftover food to take back to my hotel room, if it isn't squishy, but you know, something like a sandwich. I feel stressed if I'm disorganised, so I like my hotel room or cruise ship cabin to have a place for everything and everything in its place. These 2 trays help me to do that. They're flat, so they're really easy to pack, but they snap together into little bowls. The larger one I take on longer trips, and it's had various uses over the years. Makeup or skincare, camera accessories, anything I don't want to lose track of really. This roll of microcord has 38 metres on it, or I think that's 125 feet for the Americans watching, but it's bulky, so I've cut off a few metres and I take that on longer trips where we may need to wash some clothes. I can tie it between 2 things, out on a balcony perhaps, or between 2 over the door hooks or across the shower. I can always find somewhere to put it, and then I can hang clothes over it to dry. I do have a proper travelling clothesline, but it's chunky, so I don't bother with it anymore. You don't see solid perfume for sale much in the shops, which is a pity, but if you look for it, you can find it out there. I have this Diptyque Philosophus, which is a unisex scent, and the Clinique Aromatics Elixir. That's going back a long time. I like solid perfume for travel because they won't spill. I once had one of those travel rollerball perfumes break in my luggage, and it ruined a couple of things. It melted the plastic on a folding mirror, I recall. I can't believe that perfume can melt plastic. And we put it on our skin. Solid perfume's also good for flights because you don't need to put it in your liquids bag. Something else I carry on flights to avoid filling up the liquids bag is deodorant wipes. I don't use them for the whole time I'm away. They're a bit expensive for that. But for the actual flight, they're great to freshen up with before you disembark. Why would I carry matches when neither of us smoke? Well, they're better than air freshener sprays for getting rid of toilet smells. After you've done the deed, strike a match and let it burn down a bit. Then shake it out and the smell will get neutralised pretty quickly. What do you pack that's a bit unusual? I'm always looking for new things to enhance my travel experience, so please comment below. And we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It costs you nothing and it really helps us. You may not realise, but we don't get payment for the ads you see during our YouTube videos. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers and a certain number of view hours to get payments from YouTube. We're a bit over halfway there, and it would be amazing to get paid, even just a small amount, for all our hard work on the channel. There are other ways to support us in the description below if you're interested in looking too. You've heard about magnetic hooks for cruise ships, of course. Well, I don't know about you, but I wish I could use them in a hotel room too. But instead I carry suction hooks. I mainly use them in the bathroom to hang up the bag my shampoo bar is in, or perhaps my face cloth. I've even used them to hang towels, so they're quite strong. They work best on a smooth, flat surface. They fall off textured ones. They're one of those items that I always pack, and then if I find a use for them, they can come out to play. I bought this set of collapsible food storage containers on Amazon, and I always take 1 or 2 of them on longer trips. If we're staying in an Airbnb or a hotel room with a kitchen, they come in handy for storing and heating up leftovers. And recently I had gastric sleeve surgery for weight loss, so now I can't eat a full meal. If I'm eating out, instead of wasting food, I'll pack it up and take it with me. These things that look like overgrown toe separators for putting nail polish on are called yoga toes, and they do exactly what they look like. They stretch out your toes. After a long day of walking around one of our travel destinations, I put them on and put my feet up for half an hour. They help to ease aches and tiredness in my feet and calves. They can be a bit uncomfortable while they're on, but once they come off, the relief they bring is like magic. This one's very specific. Otrivin menthol. It's a nasal decongestant, and I think it's only available in Australia. It might be in New Zealand too, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen it anywhere else. It is the best when you have a blocked nose. One snort of it and it feels like the top of your head's been blown off. Since I'm prone to colds when I travel, I take plenty of it because I don't like using cold and flu tablets. I swear they make me feel worse. So I use this to help me stay sane. We've stayed in the same hotel in New York 11 times, so obviously we love it. But what we don't love is that because it's a small building tucked between much larger ones, the rooms are quite dark. I wake up best when woken up by natural light, so when we go to New York we take a Philips Hugo smart lamp. It's the second version which has Bluetooth, so I can set a time on the app in my phone before going to bed each night, and it wakes us up in the morning. It starts off dim and gets brighter and brighter. It's also great in an inside cabin on a cruise ship. Silk pillowcases are meant to be gentler on your skin and hair. I've used one for years, but when I don't really notice a difference. Maybe it's too late at my age, but I will pack one for some trips, not because I'm worried about the effect on my skin or hair, but because my hair colour, the pink, which is this dye, comes off on pillowcases and may stain them. For hotels and cruise ships, I don't usually pack my pillowcase, but if I'm staying in an Airbnb or someone's home, I always do. It saves getting a charge for extra cleaning or replacing their pillowcase. I pack this one because it's a larger size so it fits most pillows. It's a colour that won't be hidden in white bed linen, and it's a bit old and torn in places, so if I forget it one day, I won't be devastated to have lost it. This little watch charger plugs into either a Lightning or a USB-C cable. My Apple Watch is getting on a bit now and goes through stages of losing its charge really quickly. If I carry this little watch charger with me, I can use a power bank to charge my watch on the go. I use it with a small cable like this InCharge X by Rolling Square. I have ridiculously tiny ear holes, it seems, and I can't wear in-ear headphones. Even my Airpods won't stay securely in my ears. To avoid losing one, I use this silicone neck cord. You put the AirPod in each side like this and put the cord behind your neck. It's got a magnet so it stays done up together. It's particularly good if I want to listen to some white noise on a plane when I'm trying to sleep. I don't have to worry that an AirPod is going to end up in the seat somewhere. On a plane, losing some tech in the seat and having to get a flight attendant with a torch to find it is one of my greatest fears. I know, it's silly. There's much more scary things about flying, but hey, that's my fear. Now for the answer to my little riddle. Why am I packing our passports for a trip where we're flying to Sydney and back? The answer is that we're going on a cruise to New Zealand from Sydney. I bet you all guessed that it was something to do with a cruise. But did you know I even pack our passports if we're cruising from Australia to Australian ports only? It isn't usually required by the cruise line, but if something extreme were to happen and we ended up in another country, it would be a lot easier to get home if we had them with us. Tell me about your unusual travel items. I'm really interested to find out what they are, and I'd love to start a discussion in the comments below. Now, to learn more about minimising your travel gear, click here. And to find out how to lighten your travel toiletry load, click here. Bye for now.